That's all I got.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
Well, you're here at the 5th Annual Symposium.
I am.
And there's a lot of people here on camera that are not here.
Oh, are these live people?
No, they're actually not live.
Okay, we're recording.
But we'll get there.
Oh,
yeah.
well,
yeah.
no, I like it that if we're going to record, because then he can bleep it out when I drop F-bombs.
And which he will. So you're going to miss it, though. And you can be thankful for that. So, what are you doing here? Why would you ever come to the symposium?
This is actually a pretty good story. My wife and I were walking through Williamsburg, Virginia, 5 or 6 years ago. So we're walking through Williamsburg, Virginia, like 5 or 6 years ago, and I got a call. My job at the time was maybe not so secure. Funding was very low, so I had gotten invited to come down here and speak at the first one.
Yeah.
And I kind of ignored everything, and Brian called me, and he said, are you coming? And I'm like, I'd really like to, but funds are kind of tight.
Yeah.
And we figured out a way that we could make it work.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, it was very nice of him. And the only contact I had ever had with him is my friend Nathan from home. Him and I went on my first podcast with Brian, and we argued about the merits of Manual J.
Okay.
And it was a good time, and people remember it, because it's funny. It's two guys from Jersey arguing. Who doesn't like that?
Perfect.
So I came here the first morning. One of the fellas that from Kalos came over and picked me up. We came over, and I was walking into the residential warehouse. It was early morning. It was still dark. All I wanted to do was get rid of my backpack. So I go up to where I'm going to be presenting later, dump my backpack off, or I'm in the process of doing it. As I go up those steps over there, Brian's coming out. So I say, hey, how you doing? And he went, hi, and and I go and drop my backpack off. And I turn around, and he's running into the room. He's like, I am so sorry. And he goes, I didn't realize it was you. And I was like, well, how would you realize it was me? I've never actually met you in person. I don't even know if you know what I look like.
Well, you
So-
realized it was him. So
He's Brian Orr, right?
come on.
No, if you look at I don't do, at least back then, I didn't really do any social media.
Yeah, right.
I did have a Facebook page that my sister-in-law had made for me, but I got a picture of me as like a 1.5-year-old kid smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
So I kind of, I'm still the same person, but I look a little bit different. So it was, I think it was a really good snapshot into what things were going to be like.
Yeah.
And then at the first symposium, I saw a bunch of people that I sat on a technical committee with. Bill Spohn sitting over there. He was one of the people in the photo. Bergman was in there. Dick Wirtz, Bob Feathers, and Andy Shane. I knew all those guys. And then if I went around and looked everywhere else, Steve Rogers from over there, I knew him. And I think I knew 2 other people. I didn't know anybody. The whole social media thing was kind of not my thing. And I've gotten into it a little bit. It's kind of fun. But I can walk around here at one of these things, and it might not be half, but I know a whole lot of people. And I actually know their names, which is not normal for me. And then Adam will say, yeah, you might not know them, but they know you. And that's weird. I can't tell you how weird that is. I was at Ashtray last week, and people were walking up. Well, I was on the floor of HR, and they're like, hey, Ed. And I'm like, It happens at home. It happens at home. I live right where I grew up.
Right.
So we go. It's Friday night. What are you doing Friday night? You go to Walmart, right? That's at least we used to. And we'd walk through Walmart, and somebody would come up and start talking to me, and my wife would be like, "Who was that?" And I'm like, "What did I call him?" And friend, Bud. I don't know who it was because it could have been high school. I play a lot of golf at our local golf course. It could be somebody from the golf course. I don't know who it is, but you feel them out as the conversation starts, and you hope they drop you a little tidbit on specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
in my class.
Right. Or it's on the back. Oh, golf course, and you immediately bring up the conversation about playing golf. So it's one of those things that, and it's just the way it's going to be. You can't help it. I'm the new kid in class. 40, 50, 60 times a year. And it might be 5 people, and I don't know, there was 100 people yesterday, 150 people. Yeah, it's a lot of people. So I don't know. And I'm not going to talk to anybody differently. I mean, I'm going to bring up a topic that we have in common if I know them, but I don't know. I don't talk to anybody different than, don't know. It was the way I was raised.
Yeah.
You know, you
No, it's
treat,
true.
doesn't matter where they are on the ladder.
It comes across every time you're actually up teaching. It feels like we're having a conversation.
Well, I'm not stupid. Well, let me rephrase that. Ask my wife. I'm an idiot. And there's a bunch of people on the internet that tell me I'm an idiot too because I love doing the ducks that can't be too big. And I do. I'd be lying if I didn't get my jollies by trying to get a rise out of people on that one
course,
because it's fun. But in the context I'm using it, it's factual. It's fun. I really like coming to this one, simply for the fact that I went to summer camp last year, and I'm assuming you've heard of the building science thing up in Massachusetts. This is kind of following the same, but dare I say better. It was my first time at summer camp, and everybody sits in one session. And I didn't hate it. I like this better. You know, and then the after-hour stuff, the gang that I hang out with, and all that kind of stuff. There's some people I see, I don't know, now maybe I'll see them 3 or 4 times a year. There was a time there where I would see them once a year, and it was here. Some of my longtime friends. I got the folks over from Regal, the motor people. Mahali and I, we've been friends for 22, 23 years.
Wow.
So it's good stuff.
It is.
It's go to an event and I'm getting in a day early. He stays with me. I got to get out, but he's like, "Well, I'm staying one more day. I'm staying with him." And there's always golf involved and
I
all
was
that
telling
kind
my
of thing.
wife that like leading up to the event, there's like all this preparation and like a bunch of people are coming and there's these expectations, but then all of a sudden Wednesday night hits and we have a get together and people start showing up and conversations start, and it's like all that like built up anxiety and stress just starts flushing out. It's like, okay, now I remember why we're doing this and why I really like it and why it's fun. It's like it's nice to see the same faces, even if it's just once a year.
Sure.
Some of them you don't want to see more than that.
No, yeah.
But it's still great once a year, and actually talking and having good conversations here. It's great.
Excellent point about this event, and this is one of the events that I go to that I generally don't get to do this. Again, I'll use ASHRAE last week as an example. I'll go there, and I will see a whole bunch of people, but I will have had a conversation that wasn't even a quarter of what we've already had.
Yeah.
When I come here, for whatever reason, and I think it has to do with the nightlife and all that. It's not like we're going out and partying.
Yeah.
I'm an old guy. I try to go to bed early. They let the youngsters stay up real late and fall asleep in class. I can't do that. But I make it a point for whatever reason, and it might just because the limited amount of people. I make it a point of the people that I got to talk to for at least 5 minutes. And I'll go over and talk to those specific people because this is the opportunity to do it. It really does work out well. And
So this is sounding a lot more like a symposium conversation than you and your table. So I just wanted to ask, like, what's happening in Orlando?
Orlando, we're doing our version of this, which is far more spectacular.
Okay.
We're not in a parking lot,
Okay.
right? We're at Universal, and look at me, I'm remembering it's Sapphire Falls. If you've never been to Universal, you should definitely come. Bring the fam. The park's there. If you like Harry Potter or King Kong. Well, my kid used to live up the road. She moved, and it's killing me. Right? I had my Disney house, and I don't have it anymore.
I remember that.
And
Where did she go? Like out of
Ohio?
Oh.
Who moves to Ohio? No, she had to. And I can't say her boyfriend. I got to say her fiance.
Okay. Wow.
He took he had an offer he couldn't refuse. He works for Amazon, and he's kind of a big deal now.
Yeah, okay.
So it was a very good move for them.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy for them. It used to take me 16 hours if I drove, so I never drove to come down here. I can get to where they're at in Ohio in like 9 hours. And that's one day it's doable, and you don't feel bad for 2 days after you do it and all that kind of stuff. It's recent. This all took place within the last 2 or 3 months.
Well,
So-
you have at least one reason to come down here every year, and
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the second reason. I mean, are you going to do this every year?
Oh, are you kidding me? I'm going. I'm going to Universal before our thing because I'm down here for something else. And my wife and the other women's in my life are all coming down so that we're going to Disney for 4 days. Oh, we're still pass holders, so we still do all that kind of stuff. I'm going to have something down here. It's just not the old plan of buying a house and letting them pay the mortgage. So,
Thanks for watching. If you're willing, give this video a thumbs up and drop us a comment. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to stay updated with all of our future videos. And as a quick reminder, HVAC School isn't just a YouTube channel. Dive deeper with us at our main website, hvacrschool.com. Curious for more knowledge on the go? We've got you covered. Tune into the HVAC School podcast, available on all your favorite podcast apps. And while you're at it, join our thriving Facebook group. Also, don't miss out on our free mobile applications available for both iPhone and Android. We're all about community. For techs, by techs.